When Rabbi Sternfeld at Congregation Sinai went off the rails with a small gambling addiction, the congregation responded by getting rid of him. And at Fourth Pres, when we had the clunker pastor, they responded by telling us we were all crazy and that we just didn't like her because she was a woman. From a Christian perspective, we could all do a better job offering forgiveness. And my friend Susan Nussbaum said the same thing from her Jewish perspective when we talked about it at the pool at the East Bank Club this week. During the pandemic, we all learned how to treat each other in a very dehumanizing way. The world we live in could have been avoided with years and years of therapy. The world rewards our beliefs by success, and then we call that values. We're disenfranchised by failure. It's the thin place where faith abides. Faith is not sophisticated or erudite, it's for everyone else. Welcome. Welcome to Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Coffee Hour, we talk about everything and nothing. Recently, we talked about checking your credit card statements, being Jewish in New York, designer John Galliano, the Reformation, and Broadway music. The readings at Washington National Cathedral were from Kings. I'd rather be sold into slavery than be thrown into the pit. And from Romans, we can't be justified by what we don't already know. The gospel reading was from Matthew. It was about walking on water. The sermon at Washington National Cathedral was by Melissa Hollerith. Melissa preached about surviving a hurricane with her husband, Randy. Melissa said as the storm loomed, her husband, Randy, sat calmly by as she became like a crazed animal, trying to save all their belongings, family photographs, important papers, even artwork hanging on the walls. Later, she said she was embarrassed by it all. She said she reacted out of fear and forgot who she was, a person of faith, a child of God, and the beloved. I tuned into National Cathedral late this Sunday, and I thought Melissa was Brene Brown. Preachy white women apparently all look alike to me. Luckily, God doesn't think so. He sees each and every one of us for exactly who we are, a unique individual. We're not the pictures on the wall, the family photographs, or even the important papers. We are the beloved children of God, and He will never let us go. The sermon at St. James Cathedral here in Chicago was by Lisa Hackney James. Lisa preached about how even in our greatest moments of success, we have our doubts and fears. Lisa wondered why that is and where that feeling comes from. Is that the walking on water moment of expecting the most miraculous outcome, even if it's a bad one? My fashion stylist friend Marcy Carmack wrote an article about that recently called The Slobification of America. People set out with low expectations, then they dress the part and end up with even less than they expected. That happens individually and collectively as a society and culture. Lisa said we all have our doubts, but we do stuff anyway. At St. James, they're walking on the water right now by keeping the lights on, installing a new organ, and being open to where God is calling them next. Lisa said in the process, we will leave some things behind and let some things go. Sometimes that's harder to do than walking on the water. Christ is showing us how to do the easiest things and how that can be miraculous. Seeing one another, hearing one another, and loving one another. In the fall, Lisa said it'll be all hands on deck at St. James at the start of the program year. But first, she's going on vacation. That's the easiest thing to do that she seldom does. And we can all do that. Take time to rest and refresh and hang out by the pool. That's what Christ did in his fully human life. He walked on the water and then retreated to the hills. All we have to do is follow his example. I went to an ethics and business seminar years ago. It was led by a clinical psychologist and minister, Joyce Shin. The psychologist shared real life case studies of CEOs who went off the rails. All the cases included misconduct, including embezzlement and an affair with the secretary. Actually, every case study shared included an affair with the secretary. The remedy for most of the cases was years and years of therapy for the abuser and for those who experienced the abuse. Wherever there is a power imbalance, there is almost always abuse. It's the rare person who can rise above the where we are when no one is looking and doing the worst things imaginable reality. The New York Times said this week that smart people like to take polls, and that's why they sometimes get it wrong. We want to believe in what we want to believe in, even if it's wrong. But apparently, half the country thinks that's wrong. We all think we're into diversity, equity, and inclusion, but we're not. We all like to think we're pretty liberal minded, but we're not. In fact, we're all repeating the same patterns of bad behavior over and over again and calling them values. My friend Nancy says that here in Chicago, Chicago is a very conservative town with the window dressing of liberalism. She says it's the worst combination. To move ahead, we need to leave some things behind, edit the company we keep, and say goodbye to some of our beliefs. That sounds kind of bad. But that's what Christ is calling us to do. God left his only son behind, and Christ left himself behind to rise again within us. That's the greatest opportunity we have in this lifetime. We can have our success in this life and in the life to come. We're already walking on the water. We just don't know it yet. If you would like to join us at coffee hour, I will include my email in the description of this video. Be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.